Morning, everyone. What's up? Tanner Gudauskas here with the Vibe Up channel with my brothers Tanner and Dane, getting psyched for the day, getting the program going. And we got a special day today. Actually, Tanner's coming up to meet me here, and we're gonna head up to interview one of our longtime friends, Neco Padaratz from Brazil, world-renowned competitive surfer, fiercely competitive, amazing surfing talent, great family man, and just epic human all around. And gosh, this guy has probably the deepest archives of stories of any human we have ever come across, and we're really excited. We're doing a series called COVERSATIONS, where we're interviewing people that we look up to and people that we feel are influencers and impactors across generations. And I think Neco, relative to the whole Brazilian storm that's happening currently in the surfing world, is one of the first guys to break the ceiling, to break the boundaries, and show that Brazilians were a force to be reckoned with. For me personally, his tenacity, his fire in the competitive arena is something that inspired me to really want to go after competing. The first time I ever saw Neco was up in Huntington Beach on a neon yellow or neon green board where he won the US Open. And on the beach there was hundreds and hundreds of Brazilians with flags and just tribing up on the beach, chanting it down. And it was something that as a Grom, me, Dane, and Tanner were there watching with our dad and going, whoa, that's some powerful energy right there. And it hasn't stopped. That's one of those things that we love about the Brazilian culture. So anyways, without further ado, we'd love for you guys to tune in and check it out with us. We're going to head up and catch up with Neco Padaratz and hear some stories that's hopefully going to shine a light on his journey and connecting the generations of Brazilian storm. So hope you guys enjoy. Thanks so much for watching, and check it out. Yeah. For the three of us growing up, and like we kind of talked about before, you being a huge inspiration for us three, in a competitive sense, in a passion sense, in a performing arts sense of your surf and your character and everything that you are is like so important to us growing up. And as a generation, I feel like we're like in this middle generation that's connected to your guys' generation and also to the new generation, and we've it's been amazing to see where the Brazilian storm has come and taken full flight and full empowerment. But we're just looking at it from the perspective and the lens that like here you guys were these warriors that carved the way and created the path, and now to see where it is, I don't know.
Kind of what's your thoughts on that?
Where
are the levels at now?
In our time, we felt like we were just warriors with a swords behind our back, thinking that if anybody would shake a hand of ours, it could be our enemy. Yeah. So we would have that creepy thing about animal style kind of a thing, about being in your own horse. Yeah. And I think obviously the communication about the internet, about the development, about the way the politics went through the system of surfing, what the sport grew up for it. Because as rugby or as football, as basketball, or as soccer, or as the Olympic, what we were dreaming the whole life. Yeah. I was part of the table for many years. And then I fight to get us to the Olympics since way back there. Mm-hmm. We got it. I mean, there is a lot of people out there, the children, your kid that's just born. Yeah. I mean, there is a lot of people there that we haven't stopped. Yeah. We would be like that for the media back to time, because the media need a magazine. They need somebody coming in the camera, coming in the house to do something. Get it? To know about you. Otherwise, the person that was in the contest in the Margaret River. Yeah. Otherwise, sorry, I wasn't there. Whoa. Oh, I heard from a guy that was there, that traveled, that boom, and I was in a newspaper in Australia. Yeah. Because he used to come up in a newspaper, in the local paper, and they go, who won that contest was that guy. Who, from Brazil, who cares? Oh, he won. That was the paper. I have that many papers at home. That was the thing, it was just a paper. Yeah. Gosh. Crazy. Today, now, if I would have all that, as Tom Curran said, ooh, I wish one Margaret River, and I did, Neco, that was a good one. Yeah. One day he said that to me.
That's amazing. That's
I did a lot. I did 33, but that one I want to win. And then I said, well, that's the same as me with Sunset. Yeah. I did 4 semis and I didn't win that thing. Gosh, come on. Ugh. Yeah. I could totally retire the tour. So happy if I just win
that Sunset.
If I wouldn't win Sunset,
Pinnacle.
it's still, it's in my blood. That's every time I go to Sunset, I just scream, I laugh, I scream and I laugh and I cry, and I laugh and I cry. And
I just think it's in your blood, though. I mean, I feel like you've had such a decorated, competitive career. I mean, we literally were there in Huntington when you won.
In
That was our
98, did we say?
99, yeah. Well, until today, Shilapis has the name there.
Yeah.
Because and the U.S. Open was a QS that I got third on that one that he won. But then I got invited to the CT and I won, but I was gotcha, so I don't have the name underneath the. And I said to the boss, one day I'll scratch this name down.
Yeah, we're gonna
I'll
do
put my name under the wall right
Yeah, that
But
literally,
it's
though.
only for memory. People are never gonna see that because it's not even written down.
And it's crazy because for us growing up, you know, at that time in '98,
Yeah.
we're probably 13 years old and 10 or 11 years old. And you remember Layla, who used to date with PT, and she said, "You must come and watch the Brazilian power and the passion." And we show up to watch in the bleachers. There's no webcast then, and exactly as you're saying, the
It was
memory
only
is
about the mouth
pure.
to mouth.
Mouth to mouth, and you show up and you feel the energy on the beach, and we watch you surf. And I don't know, was your board? Was it a green deck or yellow deck board?
It's funny
Yellow
because
rails?
I was the same board that I have 3 in the garage.
Yeah,
that
and I want to see it.
the
I
3
saw on
copies,
the sit, rusty logo. Yeah, and that, you know, like
it's the one that I've
is-
been using for the last year and a half. But I mean, back to the time Kelly tried to grab my board a few times to say, "Don't touch it. I'll punch you."
I got an eye on you.
Punch you. Don't touch it. I'll punch you. Don't touch it. And it's like, why? I don't want to touch your board. No. You tell me this is a piece of door.
Yeah.
And I'm beating you up and I'm beating all of you. You
wanna
touch
know
my
what's
board.
going on here, like, where's the
You know,
Ferrari?
and then there was people said, "Oh, Kelly brought the fish into the tour." I'm going, "Oh no, Fireball,
wait a
Tom
minute.
Peterson." So I did the '96 when I qualified. That was with the Fireball from Tom Peterson. Was probably one of the last boards that he shaped. He didn't shape after that. It took a few years later. He said, "Come to my house on Friday. I'll shape for you. I can't hear you anymore. So shape a board for me."
Yeah.
I haven't done a board for 9 years, but I'll do one for you. But you gotta come on Friday. And I didn't get there on Friday, in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I got there in the afternoon and said, "No, you're supposed to get here in the morning." I'm not doing it anymore. I'm like, "Come on, Tom, no!" But we had like a bunch of beers that night, and we had a lot of laughs. People like saying, "Who's this old guy right here sitting by my side?" I mean, there's a thing in between what I see from what I said, Michael Peterson, Tom Peterson, what I said to my generation, which is like a big gap. And then Potts, Tom, Aki, both Tom Curran. It was just, Elk Tone. It was like some of those guys who were just like, right, wow, the Who's, Michael, and I mean, it was the first guy laughed at me the waves in Sunset to say, "Coming on my wave, nobody goes," and I take it off, and then you keep going. Canberra tries to take me out of the water a bunch of times, back to the time. I mean, and there was Peter Cole, and there was like you see like some those names out there, James Johns, come up to me and say, "We know this," "Come on, boy, you can do it, come on." I mean, like all of those inspiration got in a time which you had sense.
Yeah.
You had inspirational people, real people that belong to those spots, which is that's what I miss a lot on the tour.
Yeah.
It's the sense of the place. It's people today, it's all about what you can see on the internet. You don't have to be on the beach to see things anymore. Or whatever that you see one of those idols. Go talk to people, go throw yourself to people.
Yeah, be tangible. Be
Go
engaging,
talk to the guy that's taking the boat out of you in Chopo. Go clean the boat with him.
Yeah.
Go, get a hinano in the hand, walking on the port. I mean, look at this beautiful castle over here, and we're in Portugal. We won the contest. I'm gonna go tomorrow with the castle. I'm gonna go. There's those people that it's from your hotel, from maybe your posada, or maybe a place where you belong. Go to see those people. Go shake those hands. Go. Those are the feelings that you take you to learn because Rick Sungrayson and Tom Curran. And I think Ayrton Senna was the 3 people that I haven't spoke to Senna, but I spoke to Rickson, and I remember when he told me, like, the way do you want to win something, you got to put this in 3 years. If anything that you want to win, you take 3 years to win.
Dedicated.
And I realized that I needed 3 years to win every contest that I want to. But it didn't take me over 1 or 2. But just because I want that so much. So in these days, people don't only construct themselves because there's a guy that does the nutrition, there's a guy that take the wax off of John John's Florence board, there's a guy that takes all the boards from Medina and in the airport. You don't want of these 5, there's another 5 of other guy. You don't want of that 10, but there's a Mercedes waiting for him to get to the hotel, and there's like about 1,000 people once you get here to the beach.
What do you see as the positive and negative to that? I mean, obviously less engaging.
I never was. I was just an animal style competitor, like a gladiator, like a samurai, but I was never snob.
Yeah. And that's maybe the
you
new...
can't snob yourself out for something that you got so much in your hands. So if we would have, like Tom said, I wish you have the money that you have now in the Margaret River, Neco.
Yeah.
I would do more.
Yeah.
So I wish you have the money that they have now. I would do way more because I would help the children.
Yeah.
I would help the people. Do you know in Africa, like you guys did, do you know how many people wants to feel like on the top of the board? You never know. He can be a world champ.
Yeah, for sure.
You give like a instructor that you can put something on to feed these mind people in it before the tour, during the tour, after the tour, if you want to get to the tour. Psychologists. Yeah. Or you put so it doesn't happen to me, it doesn't happen to Sonny. Yeah. It doesn't happen to Andy. It doesn't happen to those people. Yeah. Resources, they're things, because if you really think about what surfing means, it's a thing that people cannot do it only if somebody tells you how to. Yeah. Otherwise, you're gonna get stuck into that, growing up and just standing up on that board. Yeah. But if you really want to put that in a different level of compete and say to your mom, your dad, I'm gonna be a pro surfer, and then back to the time you were just what? A criminal, disaster, hanging on the streets and hanging in the couch in a friend's house, party girls, beaches and all that. Gosh, you kidding me? How long has been that? Huh? Right.
But I love how you were talking the 3-year period at places, and I was curious what your thoughts were on Adriano, because I remember when he first qualified, like at places like J-Bay, you could tell he was putting a lot of time in and pipeline with Jamie.
Yes.
What's your thoughts on like the transition of is he sort of a direct lineage of your guys, and then the next generation is a direct from him?
Okay, it's something that I can speak, but I normally speak with the friends. Sometimes just like I don't know. It's probably like 3 things that I gotta carry in my head in my life. But Adriano, his first win was on Bahia, on my back. Jordy Smith was Soldiers Beach, my back.
And when you're saying on your back, what does that mean?
And then Medina in Brazil, and Maresias, which was in Paramole.
Oh my God, we were there for that. Yeah.
And those 3 contests, as the same as Andy in Mundaka, I tell the big mouth, they never won that. I carry that in
You
my
gave him the
back.
start.
Yeah. I guess so.
Well, honestly, they had to get one off of you. That's a good way to start.
I think it's happening. I think obviously with all the, I can say that because I have nothing to
There's
carry
nothing
anymore.
wrong with that.
But I mean, it's something that if you talk to Tom and then to other Tom and then Potts and all that, and Aki, you know why Tom and Aki, they still do the heat and impels into these days is because the rivalry is the sport. It is not a rivalry about being better or not, or being more and less. You know what I mean? But then it's individual, like you separating yourself. You know what I mean? Like you try to get yourself, and then the only way to get to that different level off that stairs, and I cannot jump that step because that step there's Tom, or there's Aki. And then if I get over to Andy, if I get over to those guys, I mean, I'm in a different level because my thought was not only the 3 years that I need to win this contest, I have to win a contest every year, and I have to beat the number 1 every year. So it don't matter if I'm number 1 or if I'm gonna win the title. But that actual year, like when I did win the Andy,
And
there's Rob Page has a thing that he was doing things like you guys interview documentary things about he has one of a friend of mine showed me like not long ago. Robbie Page doing that with Andy and said, "What about Kelly?" And then obviously they were in a rivalry that year. They were just like eating each other. They were just like. And the picture that I have in my garage, which is my little pray thing for him, I have the picture there the day that that I won, and he has the paper in his hand trying to look the ratings because he just lost. And then Khaled's on the side, and I asked you to take a picture, and Khaled said, no, I don't want to take a picture with you. I was like, oh, really? Okay, cool, fair enough. And I mean, those, those stuff's like were like things that the numbers would, I never like to see the ratings end of the year. I hate that paper. Nah, sort of hate, no, maybe I don't like that paper. Don't show me. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't really mean anything. When people start to attract themselves into numbers, into who has to win, who has to lose, you're losing it already.
Too deep.
No, you're losing it. Because your focus and distraction is going in different channels, which is, it's not, all that channel has to be in your channel. And then I think on these days, there's so much of the talent of these kids are doing right now. They're so, wow, storm. It's really a storm. It's, thank God, like that we have to carry one time in life that we on the top, waiting till the world coming behind going, what we do with these guys. Because we did that for many years going, how did we climb the Everest? How did I get to that top? Oh my gosh, I've been here fighting, crashing. I've been dropping down the mountain for many other around all the mountain of Everest, but I haven't get to that top. And that's what freak us out. Like, I mean, because there were so many hits that we won, and then we didn't. But nobody saw it. The beach, it was screaming. The people were throwing rocks, and people were just, ha! Okay, but the magazine 4 months later, that we show up in Brazil going, yeah, boom.
Like,
when I won the first title in the QS, I didn't have a photo in the magazine. I had to win the second year, and I only won the second year because I was so pissed off about not having at least myself there when I need to, like Hawaii. I say the big mouth. Hawaii, like I never surfed Haleiwa last round in my whole life, winning 2 titles of the QS on the road. How did you explain that? Alhan? Hey Alhan, how did you explain that? I mean, hi. I mean, hello. I mean, I had to win another year. I won the year before, but I had to win another year. I was still wasn't in the last round of the QS. How did that happen? I mean, you couldn't surf pipe, you couldn't surf triple. I mean, so okay, I'm gonna compete. I'm the number that on the world, but I come here to compete. Sorry, I'm from Brazil. This is my flag. On these days, kids, they grow like all of them in the same time go surf together in the same hour. Back to the time. What? You're kidding me. You wouldn't even be stepping on the beach. People would call it off from the parking lot. Get out of here. What you doing with all these boards? You little thing. Like, come on, get away, go. I mean, so I learned how to barrel tropo into the mattress with the Samoa's mattress that we had in the house. We used to flip the mattress.
To work on your pig dog.
To working on the pig dog. To working how to put the butt down.
That's amazing. The dream is real.
With the Samoas that like it, with the Hinanos laughing at us, going, oh, look what they're doing, they're crazy. They making the waves on the coffin, We couldn't even surf.
But it must feel so good. It's undeniable that you guys laid down the track that the kids are on right now.
No, I laugh and I cry. I laugh because we'll take it, and I cry because more humility, more sprout out to the world that you guys are that bombshell. Don't look to your phone all day. Say hi to your girlfriend through the phone. Or say hi to your mom with your kid. Or you, oh, hi, baby, Binky. And no, forget about this for a little bit. Give this only time to Earth, to what you became, what you are, what the pave, Neco, whoever is behind there, that people that come and say to the world what you know, what you feel, what you plan, what you construct in your day, not just going, oh, talk to my manager here, talk to my nutrition here. I don't want to talk to your nutrition, to your manager, to your psychologist. I want to talk to you.
Do you think there's hope, Neco? Like when you look at that perspective and you're seeing with Olympics coming in 2020 in Japan, and then you see the representation, the level, do you feel there's hope, or what do you think would be a catalyst towards that? You know?
I think we're gonna bombshell. We're gonna just like boom to Olympic, because it's something that
In a good
hasn't
way?
ever been there. In every sport, that is the first time people get to eyes on it. And I think there's the emotion about when you're so into a line, into a jump, into meters, into a ball, into everything is just so, okay, go, whatever. Surfing's like, what is that? The curiosity of what is going to get to the people's mind, it's going to be so involved, I think, in somehow. And then obviously, I feel good now. Maybe back to the time, if we were to get to Olympics, we wouldn't get the support, and we wouldn't get the eyes that it's on us now. So I think this is the stuff what I think about my own perspective, mine, but what I feel about being an ex-pro surfer, whatever that you call a good guy, hero, or did it or not, or champion or not. But for me, it's like as a sport player, wow.
Amazing.
Yeah.
We are in our time.
Yeah.
But what
the
about
game,
for women?
like, I mean-
There's not as many women in the Brazilian Storm.
Well, that's the thing. What happened is if you have no idea about how many talents that we have in Brazil. If you drive around the coast, and let's say if you do like from Nusa, as I said, to Nalu, or Nusa to Bells Beach, and if you drive into every single beach, and you stay there for a few days, you have no idea about what you see. Like, it's just amazing how many talents and people just like doing turns and things that you're gonna see. This board is yellow,
Yeah.
maybe
Just don't do
half a
it.
fin,
Yeah.
no leash. The support, why I say that, and then a really pissed off mouth now, we did all that. We put all those fatty dudes become really rich. We have new generation that came up with all the support, the companies.
Yeah.
Wow. Adriano, you can't fit a sticker if you want to sponsor him now. Not in the nose, maybe in the fin.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, the fin already has.
Yeah, it's amazing to see for you guys to see that transition.
Hello. We paid the tour. Our money, salary was to pay the tour.
Yeah.
It's like you said,
Yeah.
Mad Max.
Mad
Need
Max.
water, need
Water.
food.
I'm buying my own water, my own gas, dude.
Yeah,
You're not taking
yeah.
me in a plane.
Yeah. But do you think
Yeah,
now,
you
kind of
know-
looking, I think in the light of the women's,
Dude,
side,
we-
because I'm curious, like Savannah. I
she's
am in
so
love with
strong.
Savannah surfing. She's amazing. She's this year currently off tour, right? I think.
Yeah.
And I was looking through the ratings and I was trying to
Yeah.
figure out like where's the next generation of women representation from
Do
Brazilian.
you know
sport?
why? I'm telling you one like small thing, and it's my opinion. She's from northern Brazil, where like Fábio Gouveia comes from, where Ítalo comes from, where there's so many names now.
Yeah.
Do you get it? Like I
Jackson
mean,
and the whole crew.
yeah, it's like these guys are hunters.
Yeah.
They come from a coconut tree. You see like Ítalo's life and then Jadson's life. You see where they come from, man. I mean, you never ever say like as what I said in my story where I come from. But it's like you said that this guy's gonna get to that point one day. So that hunting going for us was animal style until the last day, until he's today. No sponsor.
Yeah.
Ítalo got from the coconut tree. Now those guys are getting the money as soccer players.
Yeah.
It's a different level.
Do you feel like it's their responsibility to be investing in the
Totally.
women? Yeah, in the
That's
future
what's
generation?
going on in Brazil because the association in Brazil has been stealing money for about 15, 20 years and that's why it still doesn't have like a real proper like tour on Brazil.
Okay.
And now the companies and all of them that are, let's say, the teachers, because we're not there and we got a young, new, beautiful eyes, beautiful little kids, better to come up because less money. We don't pay the big buckets for those big guys because they will be grumpy and maybe don't do everything but we want.
Yeah.
But on these days, there's so much like they say, oh, we in crisis in Brazil. We in crisis about the politics. Those guys are so rich.
Yeah.
And these guys right now, which is like the Brazilian Storm, they got so much money. They're almost more than those guys that owns one of those companies in these days.
And more
And
influencing power.
then there's a way, because it was Picuruta Salazar said the other day, Raoni Monteiro said the other day, because he didn't say in English, you guys have no idea about what's going on in Brazil right now with the association, how much money they be stealing, how much money they're not giving it, how much like little kids that they're supposed to be one Medina already, and they can't because, and I think, and it is the only opinion I give that these guys, if I would, like Neco, if I would have the money that they have now, resuming everything, I would come up and say what we need, what we have to do. We have to do this and that and give that tour. We do it right now. How many contests? What's the places? Where's the, I mean.
Creating a resourceful line for them
It's so simple. Like you guys do a Stuckorama.
Yeah.
Get the people together.
You get the things together and get the community together because I don't see in Trestles the contest that Hurley does, like what in the Stuckorama, the town gets freaked out at 3 a.m. making lines because they want to be there. I could never do it. I did maybe once because I could never be at 3 a.m. waiting for a line for 2 hours.
So funny.
To get there, that's how important the contest of the community that you guys do. And the whole entire St. Clemente goes down the beach.
To support and watch and be a part of it.
So the thing is, it has to have the sense.
And coming from the top, those guys, you know, they're able to.
And I think obviously those guys, we're not going to wait for the company guys anymore.
There's a lot of things you're saying that are global. Like you're even in Brazil, you're saying that the companies aren't the people that are looking towards coming back to the surf industry. I feel like here it's kind of similar. A lot of the brands are now mushrooming to a point where it actually is the presence of the surfers that need to push it forward with events for the kids, bringing it back and making that circular, like, and make the circle a little tighter. I mean, it's cool. You're teaching a lot of kids now what you know, right? Don't you work with a lot of kids even here in town?
Yeah.
And that must feel so good for you to be able to share the knowledge and experience.
I never thought that I would share my knowledge to anybody in my whole life.
Why would
Maybe because I thought that I was always going to be there. And that's your formula. If you give your formula, somebody's going to copy it.
To copy it and,
that's it.
And beat you with it.
It's simple. And if nobody knows about everything about me, I'm going to still beat you up because there's something that you don't know about me, something that I know about you, that I will get you. And that was always my mind. If you talk to Tom Curry today, you can squish his head off. It's not going to come out. There's some people that keep it. Some people, Rickson, Gracie, he doesn't put everything out.
That's interesting. He doesn't.
He doesn't. Why?
So there's still the element of surprise. There's still the element of.
I'm saying? So it's Marilyn. I feel like Marilyn. I can't put everything out. But then when I see a kid, I'm not going to say names, right? But there's like a whole big list in St. Clemente that I made the first cutback of those kids. Companies got them. They never called me back. I never got a thank you. I never got like, oh wow, look what he did for my kid. I never got the companies come up, Neco, as you did that for my kid. Wow, can you come into the company? I never got an invitation. I tried to knock in a lot of people's door here. People go, oh, that guy from Brazil. Oh yeah, I remember him. There's a lot of knowledge in the people that has to look for not we don't have cabins in the coffin. It's just the passion of surfing. When I see you guys surfing and I'm out there, it's almost hard to explain the sport about going, who's in the water? That's what I do always. I have that one. What I did for many years as a good tip for you guys who's coming, study your opponent. So I know if he's a right-hander, if he's a left-hander, if he likes pressure, if he doesn't like pressure, if he doesn't like smile, or if he doesn't like anything, or if he does like everything the way you speak to him. Or if maybe you can't say anything, and then you give like a big omelette with a lot of onions and veggies to get real heavy, and then a big orange juice, like really like yucky, tangy, and then you say good luck, and he's back on the same breakfast where you're just ready to go for a hit in the next maybe hour. That will get you 30 to 40% the hit winning.
That's so funny.
Because he's gonna go, why Neco came and brought me like an omelette and then an orange juice? If
What a nice
has a
guy.
hit with me about next shower, but he doesn't know that I gave like all this stuff for him to fart, got the bathroom, to feel heavy and sleepy and tangy and crampy. And then I'm with my cereal just going, wow. That's a good tip. Get the Cheerios on it, get the bananas, no cramps.
I love it. That's awesome. What about Flavio? Was he surfing?
He was, but Flavio took like almost his actual wife. It was his girlfriend when he was really, really young. So all of them stepped off the house. And then I think that was the time that I only got the surf, the board, the passion.
Yeah.
And what I'm gonna do with that? Until the last year I did the school, and I did to my mom and said, I don't want to go back there anymore.
Yeah.
What you gonna do, son? I remember like she was a hairdresser. Like I just rip all my uniform up, and I left my bike in the school, so I would never see that bike again. And then when I was 14, I said, what you gonna do now? I'm gonna be a professional surfer.
And how old are you at this point? Like, is that kind of?
I was 14.
14. Wow. And so just to kind of catch anyone watching too, like your brothers, like give us the age breakdown. Flavio is
5 years up ahead, and Charles was 2 years more, so 7 between me and my oldest, and then the other brother passed away. He was adopted brother for, so the same age as of my older brother, and obviously they were the first. Flavio was just maniac in any sport. He would be the best in marble balls. He would get all the marble balls you have in a school.
sick.
So you would have like in basketball, he was the shortest guy because he used to like hang up on the top of the door and thinking that he was gonna get higher than that because he would grow if he would jump every day.
Yeah.
So I mean, but he was the most points into basketball and took to the state to the final. So soccer, he was just the best runner, like little Massey.
Yeah.
I mean, just, okay, what else? Then in cards, in school, it was A plus, when A, oh no, crying.
Yeah.
So I mean, but it was a player already with my older brother.
And how did that affect you? Because that must have been interesting.
I was just the ping pong.
Yeah.
I was just the net in the middle, just going, wow. You know, sometimes I would like have a yogurt and see them fighting because it's judo.
Yeah.
Flavio, when he was 14 and he was brown belt judo, I had to wait for 4 years to get to 18. He said, no, I don't have that time to wait. And I went surfing. And then in 16, he was a champ already. Wow. And then I was like, okay, cool, I got to follow that thing.
Yeah.
But I was like, we are yin and yin.
Yeah.
We're,
The yin and yang.
yeah. So we, I don't know, I think we feed each other and somehow, but I mean, like when we start to really go surfing, everything that he did, he was ahead. And in surfing, and I went, I want to catch you up.
Yeah.
I want to catch you up. If that's what you keep going and keep doing it, you're not doing anything else, I want to do that too.
I remember, I feel like the first times that we had met with you on the road and the travels, and I remember Tanner and I were just starting with Dane, the three of us on the QS tour, and I remember when we met your brother Flavio, I didn't know you had other brothers, and we started kind of discovering like the brotherhood of you guys, and I'm like, wow, this is sick.
Well,
we
too, because
identified with that.
Teco, yeah.
It's so funny because
It's
it almost
Neco
seemed
and
like
Teco.
it seemed like there was this third brother. It was like Flavio, you, and then they said Teco. I'm like, where's Teco?
It's funny because like Flavio, it took like when original. It's funny when original you had to put your full name when you do the contest back to the time.
Yeah.
So Teco, you couldn't put Teco because you're traveling and you're so young. You had to put Flavio.
Yeah.
So the whole world knows Flavio. When people say about Teco and Neco in Brazil, go Neco and Teco. If it's like a gringo or if it's some, no, who's Teco?
Yeah.
So that's become the next guy into the family. You get it? And it was so weird because for that long, it means only change one letter.
Yeah.
But it means totally different thing.
Yeah.
You know, because boneco in Brazil is neco. It's in half of the word, so it means toy. Because my mom thought that it was like a little toy. But then teco means tikash, because we German family background with Polak, you know, and it has tikash is the like a sentence that says like it's a big ass.
Whoa.
So then because you had like a big butt with the nappies.
Oh
So then it go tika. So it go tika, neco, neco, and then they became teco, neco. But nobody knows why.
Wow.
That's great though. Like you're saying, but to be one
It's
letter.
just, even the letters like we changed like it's almost like a Berlin Wall, you know.
That's sick. Just well, you got it.
I never had that much with my brother about like, you know, because I was always young and I was always said, but if somebody like in time and that I can be a little ahead of you, don't feel bad. Don't get that back on me, you know. And then that's how we started to have. Okay, he got to my grade, and but he's different age. And then I said, well, my brother and Fabio Gouveia, we call Picuruta Salazar too. Like there's like a few other people like behind that they were so mean. Like I mean, they just the face of real Brazil.
Yeah.
And until these days, they're just like a waterman's. And I feel like my brother, it's like you guys, there's a thousand things that he does in the same time and he likes to do. He's just in the desire to do things that he used to like to do on the tour. We didn't have time, because you guys know, we just don't have time. Sometimes you don't have time to eat.
Yeah.
You want to go in the airplane, I want to eat in a restaurant. I don't want to eat McDonald's. I don't want to eat gosh, I want to keep back. You know, you can't. Because your brain's rolling, it's numbers. It's about how many hours of flight, how many hours of difference, when you're gonna get there, what time you gotta get to your hotel, what time you gotta get your car, what times you hit, and how many hits. You know what I mean? And the best ghost thing is like losing a hit for like, I was slipping.
How much? Yeah, straight back to bed.
But they changed the rules because of me when I used to say, I don't want to go the first round. First round doesn't value. It doesn't mean anything. I want to go next round already. It doesn't matter if it's second, third, because I'm going to do it anyway. So my brain was like
already processing ahead.
Processing like that. I was like almost like a warrior that I was like just ready for the war. And what I do before, it doesn't matter. So a lot of people back that time with no internet, people didn't know like about my brother and Fabio being with a word in English to say that, which is, well, it took like a long time for a period, the people that came to put Brazil into the scenario about being pipe, being fights, or be not having like big waves, like surfing small waves. Couldn't do that contest, couldn't do this contest. I remember when I won the US Open, I think it was when I changed the flip of the coin.
And maybe as you're getting there, because you know we kind of had been thinking a little bit about some questions that we really wanted to get to you about, and I think one of them is maybe the easiest way to, as we're kind of building into the history of how you've grown to become.
We're going to start from the beginning because I jump up off a big gap right there.
I know, but I love that, man. And it's like, dude, it's so
just
fun
something that connects because at the start, when I was in the school back then, I think it was the hardest thing I ever said to my mom, because when I decided to say to myself, and I remember myself looking in the mirror today, I had only underwear and I ripped my whole uniform and said, I'm gonna do this. And you better be ready for do this. And you're gonna do this until you make it. And it took so many years until 2003 and 4 when I did the 2000s. And it took so many years of what people doesn't do it anymore in these days. I mean, they're crawling from being a boys division, initiator. Like, I mean, it's just like right at the little start. But no support, no car to drive in, no wetsuit you could jump off of what I see people just jump up with all wet, no coach around, no nutrition, no food, mommy telling you what to eat, what to say. Well, go kick off with your butt and go, you gotta eat guava trees, you gotta eat just a sugar can, orange, and then things from the trees and stuff, and you come back home, your mom's not there, and then you gotta do your thing, you gotta make your bed and make your stuff, and then get yourself in the bike to get to school. I mean, all that little thing, what I see today, and in that transition about surfing history, it's like when I go to look back, I look to Michael Peterson, who
was your inspirations of that?
I think what Kelly said in his book, on Michael Peterson's book, he said, "You're better than me." I said, "Kelly, you don't be like that. Come on. You can say that you're 11 times world champ, but there's nobody ever going to be like Michael Peterson." Because first question when the Brazilian Storm came up to me, and when they were starting to grow, and they went, "Hey, would you maybe wanted to be our coach, and then maybe do something about the places?" Because I've been in 20 to 30 years. 20 to 30 years I've been in those spots. There's nothing that I don't know about those spots. And those spots are still the same on the tour today. And then nobody ever used me for anything. I don't need it. But maybe you guys need it. You get it? And then that day when I said, well, the first question that I wanted to put to you guys, it said, do you guys know who's Michael Peterson? Nobody could answer. And I went, I can't be a coach.
Yeah, right there, we got to start in a different way.
How am I going to be a coach if you don't know who's Michael Peterson?
Neco, but for that inspiration, MP, was there a generation of Brazilians at that time? Like,
No, because Tom Peterson was a good friend of mine, personal, his brother.
okay.
He's the one that made the fireball.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things that maybe you guys wanted to know about. When I was coming from Brazil to learn English in Australia when I was 16, in exchange student school, like, you know, rental school, right? In Manly and beach in Australia. I live in Avalon, and I used to catch a bus, 2 buses to an hour. The kids would study down the front of the beach in Avalon. I had to catch a bus to see all that different. I said, I'm gonna learn English with the only rental people that talks around me. Nothing against, but I mean, I wanna learn English. Start catch buses, goes to Circular Quay, goes to Sydney, goes to not know what, the buses and people and talk. And I went, wow, this is my school right here. Sydney Park, walking around talking to people. I'm gonna build this. Because I said to my mom when I was 14, I was gonna be a world champ and I was gonna be a professional surfer. I'm learning English now and I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna surf, I'm gonna be fuel on. I just lost my brother, but music, Metallica, wow. And I was reggae when I lost my brother. He was a reggae guy. Bob Marley, all that, to not remember. I went Sepultura and I went just Metallica, just went heavy metal, and just went wow, raging in my head, going, I only have one way. I want to beat people when the wind hits and I don't want to be a world champion. There's nothing in between. I'm flying. And then 17, come to California to do Edison High School.
In Huntington?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
17 years old.
Because my 2 brothers did that before. And then that's when I kind of realized and I went, okay, I'm still not there. So they...
Are you saying it's still not there in the level of surf?
No, in the level what I want, because I was so in the near and then I thought that when I would talk to my mom, I asked my mom to call my brother because in my head he never died. And that took me on the road. You know, that I had to do something like really for him. And it was personal. I would do that for you. And then because one day he said, you gotta learn how to read, you gotta learn how to deal by yourself, you gotta learn how to clean your butt. You gotta learn how to cross the street and talk to people and be nice, be humble. Never put the nose up, never put the head down, straight, middle. You're gonna get there. Look to a point. That's how we put the gun in the mirror, poof. Yeah, that's the point, that's where you're gonna get. Those things is start to drive myself about being alone in the world, being just a normal person, learning English and going, wow, okay, I'm not even there. Then I worked with intelligence inside of a school in Edison, for DEA programs, for, intelligence, different boat. My brother got me and just said, Mama wants you home. I said, no. I'm already, they actually testing me and they've been training me and they want me and I just no surf anymore. You kidding me? No way. It's just no way. No. What I'm doing right now, I'm in a different level of any work that you see, and then they growing me into that level of that I'm stepping up because of my skills. And okay, cool. Is that what you want? No, it's not what I want. Okay, cool. Get your bags, get your stuff, leave everything here, leave your board. I said, well, I have one more contest. And I was in Berkers. I was number 1 in California at that time. I left and I went to number 16. But if I win the last one, it was in Berkers, and I said to my brother, I said, no, you gotta come with me. I have only a 6'6", and then I gotta win this contest, and I win the title, and then we go home. Okay, cool deal. So I win the contest, I win the title, and we went home. And then they invite me to go to the World Amateur in '94, which is a company cyclone when Roberto Valero and Ayrton Senna passed away. And then they went, whoa, but you never did a contest here. What you gonna do now? It's like, well, they invite me. The whole Brazil go, no, he's supposed to be in contest. How you got invited? No, he's been training in California. I didn't surf for 6 months. I was in NDA, just working like madness and about different thing in life. Being going, I'm tired of people saying me what to do, what to say, and where to go. And then I got my mom, and I don't have my dad, and I don't have my parents, and I don't have my brothers. And I went, okay, cool, me in life. So I started just to program myself about being survive. And I did the amateur, me and Andy.
Just to interrupt you before that, though,
Yeah.
Neco. At this point, are you guys? Is there any other Brazilians coming into your
No.
your team of energy?
Well,
or
we
is it
had
still solo?
we had a solid team for about maybe 10 to 12 years, and that took like maybe between 1 to 13 guys that maybe 5 to 7 survived those 10 to 12 years.
Is that like a Guilherme and a Pedersen?
Guilherme Herdy, which is Patterson Rosa, with Paulo Moura, with Ronnie Monteiro, with Leo, with, Jihad came after, and then Marco Polo came after. But all of these guys, I mean, Eric Ribeiro and Anthony, and there's like Marcelo Nunes, and then I have Pigmeo, Bernardo Pigmeo, there's like Victor Ribas, which is like, oh gosh,
power
God, took
surfer.
how many years did people took his third place off? Oh my goodness, and people, it was just, there was like so many, and in my head, Renan Rocha, and there was another one, I was like a hate winner too. There were like maybe about, I don't know if I can, Joca Jr. too. And there was, there's so many now. But the only thing that I feel that I carry in my back is when I resume that I learn English, that I went to school, that I wait like Kelly did in the school. Like Taj Burrow qualified, but he was in school and he left the tour, left the CT, said 1 more year. Kelly did the same. I wanted to just be ready for the world, and then when I thought that I had all that package about being learning English, boom, 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 and just everything was just so packed up. But I'm still not there.
Yeah.
So that's the support thing. Like, my support was the meaning of my brother giving me the way, Smiggle off the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Give me the way, I'm Smiggle, I'm behind, but I know how to get there, but I just need
Following
to
his path,
follow you
yeah.
up. And I got to the point which is like, Flavio did 2 titles, I haven't done yet. And I went, gosh, there's so many Tarantino that goes up and forth because there's stories from now that maybe a link from there, and then from the start, there's a link to the middle, and then those people were on the curse. Every single guy on the tour, I teach how to speak English, read the book of children book while I was cooking, how to cook, how to clean the kitchen, how to rent a car, how to say hi to people, how to shake the hands of the locals. How to give the best wave of the set if you're waiting for the local, that's the hardest.
Yeah.
Today people are no humble.
They don't know that.
No.
Yeah.
They don't have that respect, which is, I grow up in the respect of those local guys that they give all that to us. They could just say, no contest here, in any time, in any place, and then I think the most thing that I feel about on the tour is like, if I would have sponsored today, I would be in it today still, in Big Mouth, and yes.
But do you feel like, Neco, with what you were talking about in the beginning with the ladders and the steps?
Yes.
You guys, that crew, we grew up coming onto the QS, Guilherme, all of those names, Victor, yourself, your brother, like that was already in our eyes such a strong force of the Brazilian storm. Like,
well, we grew up when was like a 2, and then it went 3, and then went 4, and then went 5.
and just
went
kept
6,
expanding.
And it went 7, and then
And
it went
kept coming.
13.
Yeah.
That was, at my time, when we did 13, they took like 10 years later to get those 13 back in it. And then my thing was like, if I'm giving the bat to you, who am I giving the bat for? Like, for who? We couldn't look back anymore because you had no people coming behind.
There's a big gap.
It was one guy and it was 2 drop because for them it's like the world can get like, please, who are these guys? We gotta hold them up, hold the horses. That's why we had to surf double, 3 times more than a surfer to go through a heat for a long time.
Yeah.
And then that was my time.
Because you had to break
Totally,
the
you had to
ceiling.
break
Do
up
you
your
know how
section.
many,
And
how many semifinals I have only with Luke Egan? I have maybe 3 or 4. That I was supposed to be in the final, I didn't. With Andy, I was supposed to be in the, I was supposed to want, I didn't.
yeah.
I mean, people know. If you go back to those towns, they still don't like those people just because, no, he's supposed to win.
Yeah.
We could never put it on because the internet wasn't there.
Crazy.
Right now, we see,
There's a voice.
oh, let me see, I was working today, let me see the heat today, because that's what I do.
Yeah.
Oh, heat 4, heat 5. Oh, they said it was a something going on. Well, he won it, he lost it. So what do you think about the heat? I mean, gosh.
Yeah, there's
you
so much
Yeah,
commentary.
yeah.
you were there on the beach that day? Did you see? Because you can cut, you can highlight, you can oh, that's what the world sees. Oh, gosh,
You can change the story.
we're like Mad Max. It's when people ask me about one word, what the group that was from that back to the time is Mad Max. Survive for water, survive for gas. More gas, more you run.
That is
More
so
water,
rad.
more you run.
Yeah.
Gas, Mad Max. Gas and water.
Yeah.
Oh, we're no money. We're nothing. Money is just car.
Get it going.
I used to love just the smell of 100 bills. So that's like just the smell. I don't know. It's something that I have.
I mean,
So every time that I win the contest, I would throw over in a bat and I'd be in a spot and I would leave everybody and I'd turn in the phone on and just swimming with the 100 bills thinking I want more tomorrow.
Yeah.
And
Keep
let's
going.
do it.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was different parts of the year because of the life because when I got to like really mature myself, they're going, me and Andy, we're in the World Amateur in '94. Ah, Kalani. Yeah.
Flying around.
That was I don't know, Kalani. You know, but
how sick is your dog,
Kalani
Neco?
and then Luke Hitchens and then me and Corey Lopez in the final
Wow.
of the amateur.
And where was this? This in
That was in
Honolulu?
Rio de Janeiro in 1994, Company Ciclone, when Ayrton Senna passed away in that week. And Tom Curry and him was my thing,
Yeah.
because I was a lawn guy. Tom Curry was a lawn guy. Ayrton Senna was a lawn guy. My lawn mind belonged to them
Yeah.
as
idols. And
You have-
as everything in my room.
Do you already have the trip with Tom? Has that already happened in Indo?
Yes, that's the next step in it. That
Isn't
I'm
that
just
there's-
ready
There's
to.
a full story on that, right?
Um,
Did Derek Hine
yes.
ask you to go on that trip?
Yes. How do you know?
I don't know. It's urban. You essentially are an urban legend. There's like tons of stories, Neco. Come on.
Somewhere.
Urban legend.
I had to ask you.
Yeah.
Your little pup is so cool.
Well, that was funny because that was before the World Amateur between me and Andy and Kalani and Corey and Luke Hitchens. It's just right before. When I was in Australia, the guy who took me there is the guy that made me my brother, Avelino Bastos. I can't forget about this guy. It's a board shaper from Brazil. He's the one that developed me and my brother of learning English in division of boys division, junior, senior, pro, and then pro junior doesn't exist. And then started when I was 15, a year later, and then it was, you learn English, you go to school, and boom, as a world prototype to be ready for the world. Because it wasn't for here, it wasn't for amateur contests, it wasn't for the local place. His vision was like, you guys gonna get there.
Yeah.
We did it. It's good. I say thanks forever. But I mean, that year was so hard because I was with him since I was 9. And Derek Hine shows up in a mall
In Brazil.
in Australia when I was living there, learning English. And then, Neco, I need to see you. Come to Ripco. Derek, you gonna give me a wetsuit or something? I got sponsored. No. We got a better thing to say and to speak. And then 2 o'clock in my office this afternoon. Derek Hine was always like that. It was always that book, walking like a little bird. The brain is like a storm. And then Tom Corey and Nicky Wood was on the follow question. I was a little gap between me and Nicky Wood. Like it's just, that's why the name of my son is Nicholas, because of him. I miss him so much. This was a big inspiration too. I mean, and I said, hey, for a long time, I wanted to be with Tom Curry one day, somewhere, say hi to him.
You're telling this to Derek?
And no, I didn't say to him. I said myself that I always had that dream of being one day in front of him, just be with like me and this guy. I never could, and I was like, but then Derek Hahn comes in at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and jumped in and they opened the door and said, hi, look it, you got 1 week, or go or not go. Where? Ripco, The Search, Tom Curry, Indian Trader, boat trip. You going or you're not? Come tomorrow, answer me.
Oh my God. You answer on the spot, like, yeah.
What are you talking about, Derek? Think today, tomorrow, 2 o'clock. Okay, cool. Oh well. So I went back home and I was like, I'm alone. I lost my brother. No mom, no dad, no brothers, no dog. My dog passed away because I went to the tour and passed away sleeping because I wasn't there anymore. I went, wow, I got too many other things in my body and in my mind and in my chest, but you know what? I need to become a man. I think I'm 18 now, or 17 almost, but I gotta make the drive. Yes, Derek, we're going to took the sticker off and put Ripco in it, and that's it. The Search, first trip, first Indian traded trip ever.
That's Feral Kingdom, right? Isn't that that movie?
Feral Kingdom. So it means when the boat went all the way to Medan, not from Padang, because they only stopped in Padang, and so Medan was way on the corner, around the corner of Sumatra, and then he would do it at nighttime, and I went, hey, I never seen anything like it, but there's so many islands, but I did at nighttime. That was Mark, back to that time, the captain. And I said, you guys got to choose the name of the places, because I've never been here. So we're the first guys I ever saw in Hawaii, off in a boat trip.
That's pretty nuts, amazing. Dude. That's
Martin Daly was the skipper of it.
Yeah, and then that's why Penis Pond is Penis Pond because Tom Curry.
Wow.
Because that was the last spot that he drove into the boat and he said, okay, you've been playing guitar and then drinking your Gatorade for all these days, but come on, you gotta say one name of one of these spots.
Name it.
Come on, you gotta name it. And then he just sees in the boat with that small words but big hit.
Yeah.
That's Tom. And then, Thomas, come on, you gotta say something. And he's like, Penis Point? The whole boat started to laugh so hard. And then to today, it's Penis Point, because it looked like it's still going. I mean, I made buggeries.
So are you like...
Burgers.
No way. Wow. Burgers, right? That was a sick name. No way.
I said, they look like burgers, boy. Those burgers. I don't know what a name would have give it. So people have no idea. I mean, who cares? I mean,
it's sick.
I can say that I named that place burgers. Burgers.
That's so funny.
What's burgers? I don't know. I just found the word.
It's deep inside. And a good reflection.
Because you just give all that wrap around, you know, like. And then how it started. And then the last day when I was I said, I haven't been one day with him. Gosh, come on, I gotta say something. Don't be scared. Oh my gosh. My nickname on the boat was Juffle Man, because the only thing you could eat like out of the time was the grilled cheese with tomato. Oh, yeah. Other things that you have to wait for the time of the boat, because it's the boat food. Yeah. But Juffle you could eat all the time. So I was Juffle Man. And then Tom is like sitting down like with some eggs and bacon and, what's up, Juffle Man? And I'm like, ooh, you speak to me? Oh my gosh, no way. Oh, this is the best day of my life. Juffle Man, that's okay. And can I say something? He's like, why, you scared? I'm like, no, I'm almost, I don't know. But I have a magazine here. I just made this cover from Fluir, like in a big barrel with the hands in the back when I lost John Rothrock, which was the teacher from Edison High School back to the time. They made Tom Curran, they made Christopher Hoff, they made Ted Robinson, they made Todd Miller, they made all those guys back to the time, you know. And then you look at it, it's just like, oh, I seen it in a barrel, keep ripping. And I went, gosh, oh my God, Tom Curran. He signed like a...
Oh, sick, he signs
And
the
he's
cover.
like, yeah, I see you here, because I didn't say that was me.
dope.
I just said, can you sign this magazine? Just like I never said that was me. But I had long hair, and now I have short hair. And then he went, I see you in the barrel. Yeah, keep ripping. You're gonna get there, you know. So you're gonna get there. You're gonna get there. And I went, oh wow, I'm gonna get there. Boom.
Insane.
That's it.
That is such a cool story. I always heard about that, and I always watched Feral Kingdom, so I was
me,
interested.
in my boat, it was me, Hiram Mills, Boris Letexia,
Yep.
Chris Dayson, Tom Curran, and Sonny Miller.
Yeah.
Which is that guy is like, gosh, I wish so much he's still alive, man. I mean, that guy, we had such a, like an amazing Larry Hills, which is, you know, still in Hawaii. Yeah. But I think that man, he ended up going to Hollywood, you know. But then Feral Kingdom means like only a few ways coming out. I remember when before the tsunami, fish balls and we call Bawa, and then Aso was the only two ways they had people. Whatever there was between those 8 hours to get to the outline islands, you know, the outside islands, it's like when you get to the same line off Nias, which is like a way ahead, and I haven't been Nias, but back to the time and in a boat, I used to be with the captain checking all the islands and checking all the places and see the wraparounds. And then I ended up going to see that wraparound far away from Buggeries. And then behind Buggeries, there's another spot, which is, I don't know if there's a name today, but me and Tom Curran, we surfed. It was like 6 to 8 foot. We haven't seen waves for about 4 days or something. Yeah. We surfed in this small little ride on the corner of these monkeys all over on the tree. In this little ride, and he got like this longboard, and
the brown water.
Yeah,
You're in
and that was the first section.
Yeah.
Then we're like, oh, we see waves. Tom's like, I'm going. I'm like, I'm going. And then I ended up like realizing that Tom wouldn't surf with everyone. And then I started to like, I'm gonna surf with my hero. I'm gonna surf with them. Like nothing against, but it's my time to surf with him. He wouldn't surf with, like he would let everybody come in. So I started to kind of like said to the guys, you know, on the cruise, you know, oh, my fin, oh, I forgot my fin, oh, I gotta change my fin. Oh, my wax is not gripping. Like I would give an excuse just to give late. Until they go, you gotta get it in the water. And then I see Tom grabbing on the board. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm almost there. I was like, but they've been there already, but I'm with Tom. What else do you want to do? My thing was, Derek Hine came to me and said, we need a person, no Aussie flag, somewhere else, maniac, winning hits, competing, just contest, like you, to put Tom Curran to go back to compete.
Because at that time, Tom was
Yeah,
on the search
he
away from
was
being
on
on
that
the tour.
time off. He won, and he just like boom, split up with the wife, and then kid, and then stuff, and France, and all that. His mind was just totally like in another, like space level, and it was just music. He was just into this like small monitor with the Gatorade and into the guitars, and hearing that for days, going hearing just the noise of the chords, and then I went. And this
little one's got a big
look, a little pipper right here, guys. Look at it. She's taking care of the spot.
She's guarded. We're well guarded. Don't pass the gatekeeper.
Let me put it inside. Wait, guys.
Well, I think, kind of to wrap everything up, looking into the future, you just have so much pearls of wisdom, and a huge thank you from our family to your family because of everything that you've laid the tracks for in surfing, for Brazil, for, dude, everything. To have you in San Camino is an honor for us because we grew up watching you and loving it. And, I think when you're looking out in the world and, for the future, what, kind of maybe a pearl of wisdom that you would kind of share forward more than just the omelet because that was insane, but, something you want to leave with the next time.
One thing I want to leave it. I mean, for people, San Clemente, I was a real hard guy, competing, pedaling, and being against anything that would move faster than myself. And it's just the original machine of my motor. I never mixed the way that I feel about the kindness of the locals and to let me be in your field and to let surf your waves and then to be humble to talk and then spread out my happiness of being on the peak all the time, the trestles, and a respect from A to Z, no matter the generation, which is from Herbie Fletcher's a really good friend of mine, and he knows who I am really well. And then sometimes we got to think about where to start and where we at. And I say sorry about whatever that anything that maybe a wave or something that one day I was on the way, or maybe in the lay back I got the things too close.
I sprayed you right in the face. Free shower.
But I want to be with you guys, and then more than I can share and then add, and keeping being humble, and if anything that one day somebody has to talk and discuss, come and talk. And I think any time in life that I feel about a beautiful family, the first name that comes in my head is Gudauskas. I think like as the perfect family that you always want to dream is to have a mom and dad like them, and then to have the three brothers that can belong each other and together until these days, and then spread out the smile, because the smile comes from inside the house. People don't give you that just because you're like a joker or something, but because you are what you are, and then that's the sense. And the sense about surfing made them to get to where they at, and made us to get where we got, and then made us to be here right now.
Yeah. Connection.
Aloha. Thank you.
Cool.
Thanks, Neco.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. That was sick.
That was fun.
Yes. Always. Now we need just to go get some barrels sometime.
That's all we're asking. Just a couple
well,
of
we can
6
pull out
foot
the
some
rack
barrels. It's coming sometime. It's has been a year, but already we're gonna get there. Beautiful. Please to everyone. St. Clemente, to the people, to the bros, to the fans, and to the cool guys, and to the not cool guys.
I think this one's all the above. Thank you, Neco,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Awesome.